Kentucky Blue.
Kentucky Blue is the latest song from up-and-coming country songstress Brit Taylor. We caught up with Brit in Nashville, Tennessee, just after her previous single, Cabin in the Woods, was released. Here's how that went down.
That's where I've been since I lost you. As far as I can see, till you come back to me, I'll be Kentucky Blue.
Hi, we're here at AmericanaFest with Brit Taylor. How's
Hey,
it going?
it's going good.
So we saw you yesterday performing at this Easy Eye fish fry thingy, which is pretty cool, and now we're getting a chance to talk. So the fish fry, what was it like playing at something like that?
It was awesome. I love that camp of people. They're awesome, and I was grateful that they asked me to play and be a part of the day. It was just fun. Everybody was having a really good time. I think after the last 2 years we've had, everybody just wants to get out and have a good time and see each other, and it's a lot of fun.
So Easy Eye is with Dan Auerbach's record label. You worked with him on the previous album, right?
Yeah, we wrote some songs together.
And so you have another one that's in the can, ready to go, and you have one song that's out already called Cabin in the Woods.
Well, my cabin's always cozy, and my dog don't bite. The pond's a little chilly in the pale moonlight. The whiskey by the fireside warms you up real good in my cabin in the woods. Come on.
Co-written that with a gentleman by the name of Jason White.
Yes.
Tell me about that process.
I met Jason White a few years ago, and he is just one of the most talented songwriters. And I knew as soon as I started singing that little riff, I come up with stuff when I'm doing my makeup, like put my eyelashes on. I just started singing, I got a cabin in the woods, and I just was like singing it, put my makeup on, and I was like, wow, I think that might be a song. And then I had a write scheduled with Jason White, and I went in and I'm like, I've been humming this around the house. I think there might be something to it. And Jason is a cabin boy too. He loves his cabin. He's got a cabin on the river. He loves to go there and fish and just hang out, drink whiskey and write songs. And so he was the perfect person to write it with. And we just got going on it, and it went really fast. And I've been in love with it since the day we wrote it. I think we wrote it in like 2018.
Cool. So that may be the secret to writing songs while you're putting on makeup. Look at David Bowie. He obviously spent a lot of time in makeup. Myself, none, obviously. So there you go.
I know, yeah.
That's cool. So and you also got Sturgill Simpson to produce the record.
Yes.
So that's a pretty big deal.
It is.
How'd that happen?
I have no idea. I sent a text message one day to David Ferguson, who's also a producer on Cabin in the Woods and the upcoming stuff. I just sent him a text. I'd met with a lot of producers that I felt like just didn't get what I wanted to do. They didn't understand, and they were like, oh, it's like this. And I'm like, no, it's not like that. It's country. It's Patti Loveless, Ricky Skaggs, and it's kind of throwback and old school, but fresh. And like I felt like they just didn't get it. So one day I text Ferg, and I was like, man, you know how to make country records. You're like king of country records. Like, how about me and you make a record? And he sent me a text message back that I would have never in my wildest dreams could have guessed what it would have said. And all it said was, how about me and Sturgill do it? And I was like, what? Like, are you joking right now? Because I cannot take another letdown. Like, are you kidding? And I mean, it was like 8 minutes later, he calls me and he said, we'll be in the studio the end of August.
Nice.
Like, put it in your calendar. I was like, are you kidding me right now?
Cool.
Buddy, they kept their word. Like, it happened.
So now you got the whole album done?
Yeah.
Are they doing the whole thing? Or
Yeah.
So what was it like? I mean, what did you learn from working with those guys?
Oh my gosh, everything in the world. Most of all, they just had fun. Like it was definitely a serious process, but it was just so much daggone fun. And if you're not having fun, you're just probably not doing it right. And we were all dancing and just having a good time. It was just fun.
Right. So you've had some ups and downs in your career leading up to this point. And for folks who don't know a bit about you, maybe you can just touch on what that process has been like for you to get from where you were to where you are now.
Yeah, I think I moved to Nashville when I was 17.
You're originally from Kentucky?
Right. Yeah, I'm originally from Kentucky. I moved here when I was 17, and I went to college, got a music business degree. I signed my first publishing deal, and I think a lot of it was just me not really knowing who I was yet,
right,
and being so young and just assuming everybody else knew better than I did, and just being like, sure, I'll do that. I'll sing that. I haven't never been one to like try to ruffle anybody's feathers, so it's just taken me a while to build up my confidence to stand my ground, and once I learned how to do that, things started actually working out for me.
Right. And working out for you, you had to kind of work on what you considered your kind of country music was, as opposed to what everybody else's was, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So how would you explain that to someone, a lay person?
How to...
What kind of, how your music differs from, say, what they were trying to make you into?
Yeah, honestly, I just had to turn off any kind of radio. I turned off everything and just went inward and started writing things without any kind of outside influence. Like all my influences were what I grew up on and what I'd heard previously, and just kind of tried to block out the rest of the world for the moment to figure out what I wanted to do. Because when you have some of that newer stuff coming in, it's like, oh, well, maybe I should do that, or maybe, and I just like, no, I don't even want to know what's happening in the real world right now. Like, I'm just gonna focus and figure out who I am and what I want to do.
Cool. Now you have a Kiwi in your band.
I do. Cy
Winstanley from the Tattletale Saints.
Yeah.
We know Cy very well. So how did you get hooked up with him?
Playing with Brandy Clark. I'll have Cy anytime that he can play with me. I just love him to death. He is a good friend of my husband's, and they've been playing music for a long time together, so that's how we met.
Very cool. Well, have you been to New Zealand?
I have not. I would love to go.
Well, now you're going to have to, because we have a great Americana scene there. Do you know Tammy Nielsen, who's playing? She's playing here at the festival.
Oh, cool.
And she's originally Canadian, and then she went down to New Zealand. Now she just recorded a song with Willie Nelson. So that's
wow, that's
cool.
awesome.
So she's hustling.
I got to check that out.
So there's quite the scene down there, and you probably fit right in. We have a little Americana kind of festival going on at a place called the Tuning Fork. So
that's awesome.
Do that, yeah. So when's the album going to come out?
We're going to announce it with the next single, and then it'll be out into the world. We're still working all the kinks and details out.
So it's all hush hush.
Hush hush.
Very good. All right. Well, good luck with everything. It's been great to hear you
you
and talk to you, and yeah, can't wait for the record.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure.